Friends, in the previous video we had seen about your triangular wave generator. Now we will go for your oscillator. So oscillator is nothing but a circuit which is going to produce a repetitive waveform there. Either it can be a sine waveform or a square waveform or a triangular waveform. But the waveform should be repeated after every t intervals there. That is called as oscillator. So now under this oscillator we will be seeing about your RC phase shift oscillator. So first we will see about the basics of your oscillator. So as I said, your oscillator is nothing but a circuit which is going to produce a repetitive waveform of fixed amplitude and frequency without any external input signal. We are not going to give any input signal to the circuit. Without that input signal, we are going to have a repetitive waveform at the output there. So mainly where we find the applications of your oscillators is, here in this case, we are going to use it in your radio, your television, computers and communications. So in this we need oscillations, that is your circuit to act as a carrier wave. So in that case your oscillators will be used to produce that carrier waves there. So your oscillator principle is, we are going to take a feedback amplifier. So in this feedback amplifier, a part of the output is going to be fed back to the input. So when it is going to be fed back to the input, if the signal feedback is going to be of proper magnitude and phase, then the circuit is going to produce an alternating current or voltages. So here in this case we are going to take a feedback circuit. This is your forward gain and this is your feedback circuit. Your input voltage you are going to make it 0. So automatically my output of the feedback will be fed back to the input of your amplifier there. So if this feedback voltage is going to be in proper magnitude and phase, then I am going to get an output voltage. That is, then it can be either an alternating current or a voltage there. So now to see the expression, so here input voltage is 0. We know that the differential voltage, so here if I am going to take, your differential voltage is nothing but the voltage at this point. So this is your summing block. So summing block is your VD is equivalent to summation of these two input voltages. Input voltages is Vin plus Vf. So VD is equivalent to Vin plus Vf. We know Vin is equivalent to 0. That means VD is equivalent to Vf. So that is what we have written here. VD is equivalent to Vf plus Vin, and Vf is nothing but the output of your feedback circuit. That is nothing but the gain of the feedback circuit is B, and your output of the input to the feedback circuit is V0. So we write Vf is equivalent to B into V0, and V0 is equivalent to, for the forward, that is your total circuit. If I am going to see, your AV is nothing but the closed loop gain of the amplifier is going to be AV. So V0 is equivalent to AV into VD. Our requirement is to find out what is V0 by Vin. So to find out this V0 by Vin, if I am going to substitute, your VD is nothing but Vf plus Vin, and Vf is nothing but your B into V0. If I substitute it and simplify it, I will be getting the expression as V0 by Vin is equivalent to AV by 1 minus AVB. B is nothing but the gain of the feedback circuit. So we know that Vin is equivalent to 0, and input voltage is 0 also. In your oscillator you are going to get an output voltage there. So we say that output voltage is not 0. That means my AV beta should be equivalent to 1. So AVB is equivalent to 1. And next condition is this AVB should be either the angle should be 0 or 360 degrees and the gain should be 1. If this condition is satisfied, then we can say that my oscillator is going to oscillate. So these are the two conditions for the oscillator to oscillate. That is, the gain of AVB should be 1 and the gain of the phase angle of this AVB should be either 0 or 360 degrees. So these two conditions are going to be called as a Barkhausen criteria. The magnitude of the loop gain AVB must be 1 and the total phase shift of the loop must be equivalent to 0 or 360 degrees. So here in this case, if the amplifier, suppose I am going to take the amplifier in the forward path is going to have a phase shift of 180 degrees, then in the feedback circuit should have a phase shift of 180 degrees. So the total phase shift in the circuit is going to be 360 degrees. That means the condition for oscillator has been satisfied. And then this condition is going to be satisfied, I will be getting a output there. Oscillated output. The output can be either a sinusoidal output, or it can be a square output, or it can be a triangular output. So here in this case, the frequency of oscillation, the frequency of the output is going to depend upon the RC components that I am going to use in the feedback circuit. So now we will see our RC phase shift oscillator. So now I am going to consider an amplifier and a feedback network. So feedback network, I am going to take an R and C components which is going to be arranged in a ladder fashion there. So we call this as your ladder type RC phase shift oscillator. So here we will take a basic RC circuit where the input voltage is going to be given to the capacitance and to the resistance there. So you know that when a current is going to flow through the capacitance, the voltage in this capacitance is going to lag the current by 90 degrees. So when the voltage across the capacitance is going to lag the current by 90 degrees, why it is lagging it is minus J. So minus J means the capacitor voltage is going to lag by 90 degrees there. And the voltage across the resistance is going to be in phase with the current. So here we write in a vector diagram, when I write the voltage is going to be across the resistor is going to be in phase with the current, but the voltage across the capacitance is going to be lagging by 90 degrees. That is why this symbol is there. So now when I am going to draw the vector diagram, it is going to have, when I am going to find out the resultant vector, this resultant vector is going to make an angle phi with the voltage across the resistance there. This is your output, this is the resultant current there. So we write V0 is equivalent to, your VR is equivalent to V0. So now in this case, here we can see that the capacitance C and the resistance R are going to be in series. That means my reactive capacitance, you know that it is 1 by j omega C. It is 2 pi fc. Omega is nothing but 2 pi f into C. So total impedance of the circuit is R minus jXC. So XC is nothing but 1 by 2 pi fc. So I can write it as magnitude Z into phase angle of Z there. So here the RMS value is going to be that I. How to find out the I when it is going to have a phase means your Vi of 0 divided by Z. Vi is nothing but the input voltage which I am going to give is going to have a phase angle 0, and the impedance of the circuit is going to have Z magnitude and phase angle to be minus phi. So when this goes to the numerator, your current is going to be Vi by Z phase angle phi. So now if I am going to find out what is going to be the magnitude of the impedance, it is square root of R square plus Xc square. If I want to find out the phase of this impedance, it is minus tan inverse of B by A. B is what? Xc. A is what? R. So we write it as phi is equal to tan inverse of Xc by R. This is the phase angle there. So here in this case, if I am going to see, what I have said is what we have written here. So in this case, your current voltage across the capacitance is going to lag the current by 90 degrees there. So when it is going to lag, we can see that 2 RC pairs. Our condition is in the feedback part, I should have 180 degrees there. To have that 180 degrees, I can use two sets of R and C. RC pairs there. One set of RC pair will give 90 degrees, the other set of RC pair will give 90 degrees there. But due to the components mismatches, the tolerance levels, I will not be getting exactly 90 degrees. So in that case, my oscillator will not oscillate. So for that, what we are going to do is, we are going to take 3 RC pairs, where each RC pair is going to produce a phase angle of 60 degrees there. So it is going to produce an angle of 60 degrees. It is the values of R and C are chosen in such a way that you are going to get an angle of 60 degrees. So 3 RC pairs means 3 into 60, totally 180 degrees we are going to get the phase angle in the feedback path. And the amplifier is going to produce another 180 degrees. So now the total phase shift is going to be 360 degrees. So here we are going to choose the proper value of R and C, and the angle is going to be adjusted to 60 degrees. So that is what we have said here. So by choosing the proper values of your R and C, we can see that 3 RC pairs can be chosen to produce an 180 degree phase shift there. So here we are going to use your operational amplifier. So the amplifier should be providing 180 degree phase shift. 180 degree phase shift is got in the inverting configuration. So we use the op-amp in your inverting configuration mode, and the phase shift of the feedback path is going to use 3 RC pairs to produce another 180. So total phase shift is going to be 360 degrees there. So now this condition is going to be satisfied for your oscillator. So we can see that your op-amp is going to be used in the inverting mode. So inverting mode, I am going to inverting amplifier configuration. You are going to have your feedback resistance, your R1. Non-inverting terminal is going to be grounded. So in the inverting mode, what we are going to give, we should give the input signal. Instead the input signal, output of the feedback circuit should be fed back as the input there. So in this case, you are going to have your V0. The V0 is going to be connected to 3 RC pairs. So this is one RC pair, this is another RC pair, and this is a third RC pair. The output of this RC pair is going to be connected as input to the operational amplifier circuit. So this operational amplifier will produce 180 degree phase shift. This feedback path will produce another 180. So total phase shift is going to be 360 degrees. And now we can see that here this is going to be the feedback voltage. So here in this case, if I am going to have a sine waveform like this, my feedback voltage is going to be 180 degree phase shifted. So 180 degree phase shifted means just reverse of it. This is your feedback voltage there. This is going to be fed back as input. So now to see the derivation, we will see the transfer function of the RC feedback network. So I am going to take the 3 RC pairs, and 3 RC pairs I am going to form the 3 loops where input to this first RC pair is going to be Vi. I will take it as Vi, and the output of the last RC pair will take it as V0, that is your Vf, the feedback voltage. So now in this case, you are going to find out what is your feedback voltage here, that is your I3 current. Our requirement is to find out your I3 current, because based on this I3 only, I will be getting a drop across R, which is going to be fed back to the input of your operational amplifier. So our requirement from this circuit is to find I3. To find I3, first we will write the KVL equation. So if I write my KVL equation, my equation is going to be Vi minus J into Xc minus R into I1 minus I2, because this is your first loop. So if I simplify it, it is going to be I1 into R plus 1 by J omega C minus I2 into R is equal to Vi. So you can see that this equation, if I am going to write my first equation, it is going to be Vi. So minus J into Xc. So here in this case, J into Xc into I minus your R into I1 minus I2 is equivalent to 0. So if I am going to have my Vi, so minus Jxc, I can write it as I by Jxc. So this is your current I1. So here in this case, it is going to be your I1 by minus I1 by J omega C. So minus R into I1 plus R into I2 is equal to 0. So if I bring it to the other side, it is going to be I1 into 1 by J omega C plus R minus I2 into R is equal to Vi. Similarly, if I write for the second loop, it is going to be minus I1R plus I2 into 2R plus 1 by J omega C minus I3R. So write the KVL equation, simplify it. So it is going to be minus I2, for the second loop it is minus I2 by J omega C. Here it is going to be minus R into I2 minus I3. So here in this case it is going to be minus R into I2 minus I1 is equivalent to 0 for the second loop. So if I simplify it, I will get this equation. For the third loop, if I am going to write, so minus I3 divided by J omega C minus I3 into R. So here in this case, minus R into I3 minus I2 is equivalent to 0. So here in this case, if I simplify it, equation is going to be, or I3 terms are going to be R. So R plus R is going to be 2R plus 1 by J omega C. So by simplifying these 3 equations, I can get these 3 equations there. Now I have to find out I3. I'll write this in matrix form. If I write in matrix form, J omega is going to be replaced by S. So when it is replaced, I can write as R plus 1 by SC minus R 0 minus R 2R plus 1 by SC minus R. Here 0 minus R into 2R plus 1 by SC into I1, I2, I3. This is in matrix form. When I write in matrix form, if I want to find out the determinant, I will take this form. If I am going to write it, your LCM is going to be RSC plus 1 by SC. So this is going to be 2RSC plus 1 by SC. Here it is 2RSC plus 1 by SC there. So now if I am going to take the first term, 1 plus S into RC. So this term goes, so if I am going to multiply this, it is 1 plus 2S RC the whole square by SC. So here SC the whole square, this term is going to be there, minus of r square. So here in this case it is going to be minus r square there. So r square, that is what has been written here, r square into this term 1 plus s 2src by sc. Next is coming to the second term. So here if I am going to write, your term is going to be here, your 1 plus SRC divided by SC into, your term is going to be 1 plus 2SRC by SC the whole square minus r into r is going to be your r square. So next term is going to be here minus r. So minus of minus is going to be r plus r into this term. If this goes here in this case, minus r into 1 plus 2SRC divided by SC, this term. So here minus 0. And next is 0, that is going to be not there. So if I am going to multiply, your first term is going to be 1 plus SRC by, here this is your s square c square, so it is going to be s cube c cube 1 plus 2 SRC the whole square. The next term is minus r square into 1 plus your SRC divided by SC, and here in this case it is going to be minus r square into 1 plus 2SRC by s. This actually, this 2 should not be here, this 2 should be here. So here in this case, anyway this both also the same only there. So here in this case, if I simplify it, take the LCM and simplify it, my expression is going to be 1 plus 5s RC plus 6s square c square r square plus s cube c cube r cube by s cube c cube there. So here in this case, D3 is going to be, replace your third column by your VI 0 and 0. So if I am going to find out, your D cube is nothing but, so anyway this first term if I am going to take, your first term is going to be here anyway 0 0. So second term is going to be again 0 0. Only a third term you are going to have. Third term is nothing but, you are going to have your VI into, so this two terms, so this two terms is going to be our r square, anyway this is going to be 0, so it is VI into r square, remaining terms are all 0. So now we want to find I cube. I cube is nothing but d cube by d. D cube is nothing but, if I simplify it, I will be getting this expression there. So VI into r square into s cube c cube by 1 plus this term there. Now we know that V naught is equivalent to Vf. What is Vf? The drop across the resistance, that is I3 into R. What is I3? I3 is Vi into R square s cube c cube by your, here in this case it is your, this denominator is going to come as such there. So into R, R is going to be multiplied, you are going to have your R cube there. So next is your beta. So here this term is going to be your R cube. Okay, this become R cube there. Now beta is equivalent to V naught by Vi. This Vi will come, so it is R cube s cube c cube divided by 1 plus 5s cr plus 6s square c square r square plus s cube c cube r cube there. Now replace, wherever s square is nothing but minus omega square. So s is here j omega. So s square is nothing but j square omega square. You know j square is nothing but minus, so minus omega square. So replace s square by minus omega square, s cube by minus j omega cube. So now my beta expression is going to be minus j omega cube r cube c cube by 1 plus 5 j omega cr minus 6 omega square c square r square and minus this one. Now equate your real parts and your imaginary parts. Group out that. So if I group it out, my beta value is going to be, divide your numerator and denominator by minus j r cube c cube omega cube r cube c cube, and replacing 1 by omega rc by alpha, my expression is going to be simplified as beta is equivalent to 1 by 1 plus 6j alpha minus 5 alpha square minus j alpha cube. So if I write it in your this one, your real parts and imaginary parts, if I substitute, it is separated 1 by 1 minus 5 alpha square plus j alpha into 6 minus alpha square there. So here in this case, to find out the frequency, your imaginary term should be 0. That means your denominator, your imaginary part, we are making it to 0. That is alpha into 6 minus alpha square is equal to 0. That means alpha should be 0 or 6 minus alpha square should be 0. This we can neglect it and we can take your 6 minus alpha square is equal to 0. That means alpha square is equal to 6. Alpha is equal to root 6. You have taken alpha is nothing but 1 by omega RC is equal to root 6. So what is omega? It is 1 by RC root 6. F is 2, omega is nothing but 2 pi f. So it is f is equal to 1 by 2 pi RC root 6. This is the frequency of your oscillation. That is your RC phase shift oscillator. Now we have to see what is going to be the gain. So gain is your 1 by 5 alpha there. So you know that beta is nothing but, you can see here your beta value is nothing but 1 minus 5 alpha square. So here in this case 1 minus 5 alpha square. So 5 into alpha value is nothing but root 6 the whole square. So 5 into root 6 the whole square is nothing but 6. So 5 into 6 is 30. 1 by 1 minus 30 is minus 29. That means my feedback gain should be minus 1 by 29. So if I take the magnitude, it is 1 by 29 there. So that means that the other condition for an oscillator is A beta should be greater than or equivalent to 1. A is nothing but, here in this case, A is greater than or equivalent to 1 by beta. What is beta? 1 by 29. If that goes to the numerator, it is going to be 29. That means my gain of the RC phase shift oscillator should be 29 and the total phase shift should be 360 degrees. If this condition satisfies, then we can say that my RC phase shift oscillator will oscillate properly and give a proper output. So where it can be used? It can be used in the audio frequency range, that is about 20 Hz to 100 kHz. Thank you.